56.8% of homes in the Charlotte area lost value over the last year. That stat alone has frozen buyers and sellers, but it is your biggest opportunity if you know what it really means. Hi, this is Evie DeJesus, and today I'm bringing to you the November 2025 Charlotte Market Report. And this month, the numbers are telling a very different story than the headlines. So let's decode these numbers so you don't lose money moving wrong. Across the full Charlotte region, the median sales price is $400,000, which is up 2.6% year over year. But that number alone does not tell the full story. Mecklenburg County is higher with a median sales price of $460,000, up 3.4% year over year. The city of Charlotte sits at $430,000, up 1.2% year over year. So while the region averages $400,000, buyers and sellers inside Charlotte and Mecklenburg are operating in a tighter, more expensive market than the surrounding counties. This is why generic advice is very dangerous right now. Homes are now taking an average of 54 days to sell compared to about 45 days last year. That is a 20% increase in days on market. This is one of the biggest shifts in our market here in the Queen City. Buyers have time again. Sellers can no longer control the clock. Active listings across the region are 11,300 homes, which is up 17.6% year over year. Now, months of supply for the region is 3.1 months. Inside Mecklenburg County, the supply is tighter at 2.7 months, and the city of Charlotte sits at 2.8 months. That difference explains why some neighborhoods still feel competitive while others feel slow. Homes are selling for about 94.8% of list price, down roughly 1% point from last year. This confirms what buyers and sellers are feeling. The market is no longer rewarding overpricing. So if you're a buyer, the biggest mistake I'm seeing right now is assuming leverage means that you lowball everything. That is not how buyers are winning in this market. With days on market at 54 days and inventory up 17.6%, smart buyers are negotiating terms, not just price. And I'm talking things like seller pay closing costs, repair credits, rate buy downs, and even flexible timelines. The real opportunity is homes that have been sitting 30 to 60 days, especially where the sale to list ratio has already dropped below 95%. That is where sellers are a little more flexible. Now, if you wait for a crash, you are likely to miss the window where sellers are negotiable, but prices are still holding. Now, if you're a seller, the data is very clear. The market is no longer forgiving overpricing, with homes selling at an average of 94.8% of list price and days on market up 20%. The first 14 to 21 days on the market matter more than they have in years. Sellers who price correctly from day one are still selling. Sellers who chase the market with price cuts are the ones that are losing leverage. So right now, strategy beats optimism. Pricing today pricing based off of today's data, not last year's sales, is what's going to protect your bottom line. So yes, 56.8% of homes lost value over the last year. That does not mean that Charlotte is failing. It means the market is correcting after an unsustainable run-up. That is stabilization and not a collapse. Okay, friends? Mortgage rates have been holding in the low 6% range, and we should be seeing some relief coming up in 2026. That stability is why demand has not fallen apart, especially among relocation and move-up buyers. So if you're relocating to Charlotte, here's what you need to understand. The regional median of 400,000 does not reflect what's happening inside Charlotte or Mecklenburg County. At 430,000 in the city and 460,000 in Mecklenburg, your strategy changes dramatically depending on where you land. Supply is tighter inside Charlotte and Mecklenburg, obviously, which means that relocation buyers without hyper local guidance, are far more likely to overpay, or you'll end up in the wrong area for your budget. So if you want a personalized breakdown for your price point, your timeline, and some target areas, make sure you text buyer or seller to 980-480-6480, and I'll see you in next month's market report.